Welcome everyone to the Piedmont Symphony Orchestra's live stream series. My name is Glenn Quater. I'm the music director and conductor of Piedmont Symphony. It's great to be back after 2 weeks. We've got an all-star cast with us tonight, and I'll start off by first welcoming my great friend and our concertmaster, Lee Brewster. Lee, welcome, my friend.
Thank you for having me, Glenn. It's good to see you again.
All right, and on the screen we have with us our president of our board of directors, Ernie Huter, another new member of our board, Eric Sheps, and our executive director, Kate Garrettson. Welcome, all three of you, to the Brady Bunch.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to have everybody here.
Hey,
we have a real special night tonight, folks. Eric is a guest of the PSO, and we have some exciting things to talk about with our upcoming season as we prepare to make the best of what we've all been dealt in terms of our hand. And we're very excited about what we have planned at a very special place, and we'll talk more about that in just a few moments. So without any delay, let me welcome our president, Ernie Huter, who will take over from here. Ernie, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing great, Glenn, and welcome everybody to our bi-weekly live stream of the PSO, and we're going to do a best of tonight, which is going to be absolutely fabulous. And I'm really glad to be joined by my good friend and new member of the board, Eric Sheps, who's also on the board of Buchanan Hall. And we have some interesting things we've been planning, and because we do not have access to our typical venue at Highland School, Eric and Fletcher Slater have been gracious enough to work with us, and we've done concerts at Buchanan Hall in the past, so we're very excited to be able to go to Buchanan Hall and live stream from there, as well as having a live audience. And we'll go into that later in the show, and Eric can kind of pick up on that. So we're very excited about it, excited about having you all with us tonight. And, of course, before I go any further, yes, it's time for an ad break. And here we go. As you know, our advertisers have been very good to us, and so we want to recognize a few of those every time we do our live stream. So Golden Rule Builders can build you a wonderful home. They're great, great people. If you need any engineering work done, Bowler Engineering can come into play there for commercial work. And then you probably need some insurance along the way, and our insurance company, Carr and Hyde, would be happy to help with your home or commercial work. So without further ado, I would like to give it a little over to Eric, and he can talk a little bit about Buchanan Hall.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Ernie. Hey, Glenn. Hey, Lee. Everyone's looking. Yes, very, very excited at Buchanan Hall to partner with you guys in the PSO. I know these are unprecedented times, but I think Glenn has come up with a really good program relative to live streaming the first couple of shows that we're going to do in the fall that might even turn into 2021, right, Glenn?
Right.
So I think it's just something that we're just going to sort of throw an audible out there, and we're going to work with each other as closely as we can in order to make this just a very, very successful 2020-2021 season. So we're really, really looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, and we're very happy too. It's there are many groups out there looking for a place to perform. Yeah. And it's not easy right now, and rightfully so. Mm-hmm. But we appreciate Buchanan Hall's willingness to give us a space to at least do broadcasts of some small ensembles that we are so fortunate to have in the orchestra and our string section. Yes. So we can really put out some great stuff. We have great things in mind. We have our great friend Dinesh Matani at the helm with us on the video production. It's going to be a beautiful show, just like all the videos that we'll see tonight. So very exciting.
Well, yes, very much so. So we're really looking forward to it, Glenn.
Excellent. Thank you. So Kate, how we doing?
I'm doing great.
Excellent. What's the latest on the PSO front?
Well, we had a site visit at Buchanan Hall last week, and that was probably the first in-person production meeting that we had done in a long time.
Yeah.
Everything's virtual now, of course, all of our meetings. But I can't even begin to tell everyone how wonderful it was to be back in production mode. You know, getting into the space, mapping it out, figuring out how we can make this work for our players, maintaining their safety while still bringing live music and new music to our patrons. It's just so exciting to be finally getting to that point after being locked down and virtual for so long.
Right.
So we're very optimistic about what we're going to be able to bring everyone during this upcoming season. And, you know, this is probably one of, if not the only, arts organization in the area that's able to pull anything off. You know, everyone else is just kind of halted. And we are so fortunate to have Eric and everyone else at Buchanan Hall to partner with us and support us in what we're trying to do. And what we're trying to do is keep the music playing. And that's what we've been doing all summer.
Right.
So, yeah, this is a very exciting episode because we're going to talk a little bit more about our upcoming season.
Yes, yes. And we have a lot of great things in store. We're also lucky that we have so many great friends like the Silvertones, who we're very much looking forward to working with in some of the performances this particular season. And they've done just such amazing work on their own live stream series with their video, the amazing video work and the production that goes into their great videos. So we're looking to learn a little bit from them too on how they do it and make it look so good. But it's very exciting. It's a different time. It's challenging.
Yeah.
You know, and for us, you know, it's such a fine thread of connection right now between all of the musicians that it's so fragile, and we're all very optimistic, and I think that's what's keeping everybody moving forward. And it helps to create and ferment new ideas between all of us because everybody is really thinking outside of the box. So at PSO, we're lucky that we've been able to make some concrete plans out of all of these ideas. And like I said, we'll talk more about how we're doing that in this particular episode. But yeah, it's great to have everybody here. And Kate, the episode tonight, like you said, it's about the special people in the PSO. We have a lot of solo features of our own people as well as some of our favorite guests. And we just want to make sure that the orchestra knows that we're thinking about them, and we're doing everything we can to build up to a full-size orchestra by the end of the year coming up. So hang in there, right? Definitely.
Absolutely.
So now we also tonight's program, we have Lee, of course, in the studio with us tonight, and we're going to focus in on one of the pieces that we're doing at our season opening concert in October, and that'll be the Bach Double Violin Concerto with Lee, our concertmaster soloist, along with our principal second violinist, Matthew Gattuso. So Lee has his violin with him tonight, and we'll play a couple of excerpts and talk a little bit about the different movements, and then move into the rest of the program. So very exciting night, lots of great information, lots of great music. And anything else anybody wants to add before we roll into our first music segment?
I don't think so. I think we're all ready to go. And as you said, working together with Eric and Fletcher at Buchanan Hall has been a very special thing for us in the past. And we're looking forward to having a safe and wonderful season coming up.
Yes.
Albeit different.
Absolutely.
Definitely. You know, we did some measuring and specking of that space last week, and our videographer Dinesh did some video footage, and we'll have a little bit of a kind of a video teaser coming out in the next week or so of Buchanan Hall. So stay tuned for that, everybody. And also before go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
Don't I have to bless that? Because I don't know how well I looked on camera. You caught me a little bit off guard.
I think so, yeah. We'll let you
that needs to be sent.
Send that to me first.
Absolutely. Yeah. And by the way, PSO is trying something new tonight with our stream. As you know, we've been kind of dabbling around with broadcasting to YouTube as well, which we are tonight. at the same time as we do this. But we're also broadcasting to Twitch right now, if you can believe that. Twitch is a gaming platform, but it has a humongous music and performing arts category of about, I think, 40,000 subscribers in this group of viewers in Twitch. So if you're a Twitch person, guess what? Look up the Piedmont Symphony Orchestra, and you're going to see this stream right here as well. So we're just trying it out to see what happens, and it will be interesting. So 3 platforms tonight, first time ever.
Yeah.
And keep our fingers crossed that my computer doesn't melt. I don't think it will. All right, so with that,
we'll have a great show.
Thank you. Let's talk quickly about what we've got coming up. We've got 3 selections in this first segment. The first being Beethoven's Coriolan Overture, which we did just about a year and a half ago. Fantastic recording. And then we have one of our favorite soloists, Rachel Franklin, coming in on the second movement of the Shostakovich First Piano Concerto. And then we finish out with 2 short clips from Duke Ellington's Nutcracker, which he did as a tribute to Tchaikovsky's version of the Nutcracker. And the 2 movements that we have are called Toot Toot Tooty Toot and Sugar Rum Cherry. So if you're a Nutcracker fan and you know the various sections of the Nutcracker, you'll recognize where these come from. This was such fun in this particular concert.
You got to do that again.
Yeah,
got to do that again.
Definitely. So a nice variety tonight. Again, we really kind of handpicked stuff that stood out to us over the years, and some of the more recent stuff, and a little bit of a variety. So it's kind of a patchwork of music tonight, but it should be a lot of fun, and you'll have nice long segments of music to where we'll have no interruptions. So anything else, anybody, before we go?
Everybody, we chose pieces that spoke to us that we think will speak to you, right? We chose our favorites, like Coriolan, for example. How many times did I tell you how awesome that recording was, and then we got it loaded up. So I'm really excited to be able to share with everyone, I think, our favorite pieces, the orchestra's favorite, the ones that showcase the power of the PSO and really highlight the amazing players and soloists that we bring to the stage. So it really is a celebration of PSO, and I hope everyone enjoys all the music we have for them tonight.
Fantastic. Thank you. And it's definitely nice to jump around with the different styles too. It shows the versatility of this great orchestra, and that's what makes it so fun for us. So with that, folks, I guess we'll move right into this segment.
Right.
We have the mighty PSO and 3 segments back to back, and we're looking at about 18 minutes or so straight worth of music. Please enjoy our first segment of the Piedmont Symphony Orchestra. Welcome back, folks. Boy, that was a really, really fun set. We went from Beethoven to Ellington at the end. So fun. That was our great friend Sammy Souza on the drum set, laying it down for us in that wonderful rendition of the Nutcracker. And our great friend Rachel Franklin on one of our favorite pieces. I saw the comments. It couldn't be more true. I think everyone in the orchestra just loves that piece, that movement, and it made a believer out of Ernie, I know, for Shostakovich as well. And then the Coriolan Overture, of course, is one of our all-time favorites. We never get to do it enough.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
What a piece, what a piece. And
well, if nothing else, that segment just highlighted the versatility of PSO. Exactly. I mean, to be able to perform all those different styles seamlessly, just what a flexible orchestra.
And not to mention our fantastic soloists that you heard. We had our trumpets, of course, doing the Sugar Rum Cherry theme, and Bob Renshaw on tenor sax, Alicia Coleman on clarinet, also Lindsay Williams on multiple instruments, but bass clarinet for that one, I believe, and she's another one of our great chameleon players that can just
she can do it all. It's amazing. Yeah.
Shout out to Lindsay.
Yeah, Lindsay.
She's watching.
Yes.
Hi, Lindsay.
So let's talk a little bit about, before we get into the music of the next set, let's talk a little bit about what we've got in store for our patrons and fans for next year. We have this great relationship, as you heard, with Buchanan Hall, and it's a beautiful facility that is very acoustically fantastic for strings especially. It has beautiful wood floors, high ceilings, and a lot of light, and it's got a stage and everything. So we're working on how to make that all work so that we can stream our actual live concerts with our string ensembles or a string ensemble to you, the patrons, just like a regular concert on a regular concert date in the privacy of your own home as well.
And that space is visually stunning too, really with all the wood and the lighting and the chandeliers. It is just a gorgeous space.
Yeah, definitely. And we're working to be able to have a limited number of patrons to be able to purchase tickets for these events as well. So if you're really itching to get out and you want to come hear the Piedmont Symphony live, we're going to be able to provide that opportunity to you through our regular concert series. So stay tuned on the details of all that. You'll be getting things in the mail, I know, very soon from us with all of the information on how we put it together. And very exciting, very new for us, but we've been tackling this pandemic lockdown with our message since it started. And mid-March, we started to work on these live streams, and by the end of March, we were going every week for 9 weeks. So we're committed to keeping everything moving forward. And go ahead, Kate. You were going to say something.
I was thinking when you said March, I was just remembering how when we started this, it was almost out of desperation. It was all of the musicians being sidelined, all of us performers, that this is our heart and soul. This is what we love to do. And that's just been like the rug was pulled out from under us. All of a sudden we were mid-rehearsal cycle for the upcoming concert in April, and everything just closed up. And so it was interesting that all this was born out of kind of a desperation to do something, to stay into this performance realm, to be out there, but also to support our players. And it's kind of transformed into a new normal where we're taking this as a springboard into the next season. And, it's got to be virtual with, of course, very limited VIP in person, but, we have to balance the safety and health of all the patrons and the orchestra and find a way to kind of meet all of those needs and still have a season. And, to me, it's just amazing how that has progressed from we have to do something to, hey, we've actually found a solution to this situation. And Buchanan Hall is just the perfect setting for it as well, and I'm so excited to get all this news out to everybody. I'm glad we're talking about it tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we have some very special things planned, including, the piece on the October concert that we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah. The Bach double violin concerto. That's going to be incredible.
And
in that space, as you mentioned, that acoustic in there is just perfect for strings.
Oh yeah,
it's really pleasure on the ears when you're in the space and you hear string orchestra. It's just fantastic.
You feel surrounded. It's so so live.
Yeah, we had a couple of rehearsals for other performances that was mostly strings. I think it was all strings.
Yeah,
and we all fit on the stage.
Yes.
And it was absolutely beautiful to play in there. It was so easy to hear, and so I think it's going to be a perfect venue for us.
Absolutely.
To work in there. So I'm so looking forward to it.
We managed to do a rock show and a classical
That's right.
concert in that space. So we've already been in there, performed twice, and pulling off a rock show in that space. I mean, we can do anything there.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to turn things up to 11 than it is to turn them down to 5.
Yeah.
But it's a great space, and we've got some really innovative things that we're doing with the videography and with the placement of our players and so on. Again, it's going to be a lively event, and our great videographer Dinesh will be with us, and he's producing it live for us with his incredible multiple camera setup, and it'll be just like you're watching one of our great videos, but it will actually be live streamed for you. So very exciting. So let's talk a little bit about some of our best of concert pieces coming up now. Our second segment, we're doing basically 3 pieces per segment. Keep it nice and even, a nice even 3. And so the first piece up we have is from one of our young artist or young people's concerts. This was based on our art contest that was on the planets that one particular year. So we're doing Mars from the planets. And this one, the video is featuring the artwork that was submitted for some of the artwork that was submitted, but it's mostly just imagery of Mars, not only the planet, but the god of war. So interesting things with that. The second piece in here is I think one of all of our all-time favorites. We just did it last year. And it's the Adoration of the Magi from 3 Botticelli pictures, which is such a special piece, based on a painting by Botticelli of the scene with Jesus when he was born, and all of the gifts that were being brought to him and the surrounding imagery and all of that. And this is, of course, Respighi, one of the other good wheelhouses of the PSO. We do a lot of Respighi in PSO. I think we all love it. The instrumentation is gorgeous. It starts off with an extended bassoon solo and oboe solos. Our soloists were fantastic. They took such care, and you have a solo in that as well, Lee. Great solo. Very
beautiful
exposed.
Solo. Yes,
just out of the blue. You're way up in the stratosphere.
Way up in the stratosphere. Yeah. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I had a good
beautiful
time with that.
Piece. And then we close out this segment with another airing of a feature of our 3 principal string violinists. We have Lee Brewster, Jason Labrador, and Matthew Gattuso on the Vivaldi Triple Violin Concerto, which was just this last December.
Yeah.
And the reason we have that closing out the segment is because it leads us in well to discuss the Bach Double Violin Concerto a little bit more at length. And Lee is going to play his violin a little bit. We have the reverb set up, but I think based on what happened with our start of the stream with the reverb not turning off correctly, we're going to bypass the reverb and just let him play into the good mic.
Okay.
And it'll sound great. But sorry about that. We'll work through that. So a nice mix of pieces, again, featuring not only in the planets, featuring the power of our entire orchestra, full tilt.
Yes.
Going into Respighi with these beautiful violin and woodwind solos throughout, and then the Vivaldi, of course, featuring our 3 principal string players as soloists. Beautiful music, and in the style of the Bach, more in the style of the Bach coming up. But so in terms of our size of our concerts coming up, we're going to be starting out relatively small with strings only for the first 2 concerts. Well, the first concert, that's the big feature on the Bach double. The second concert, though, Kate, let's tell them a little bit about kind of what we're thinking. Are we ready to roll that out yet, or? What do you think?
I thought you'd never ask. I've been waiting to announce this.
Excellent. All right.
We've had discussions about this for weeks,
long time.
And it is so exciting to, I guess we can talk about that now. So, we're going to open strings only because that's going to fit in, and as we move into the season, we're hoping to grow and expand based on, whatever the circumstances are, and safety and health, obviously the top priority.
Mm-hmm.
But we're still going to bring you a collaboration with our wonderful friends, the Silvertone Swing Band, in December.
Mm-hmm.
You all remember the Swinging Into the Holidays concert we did a couple of years ago? Mm-hmm. That was several years ago.
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Mm-hmm. So we're going to combine forces with our great friends, Wendy Marie and Dave Schuma, and all of their amazing players who overlap with PSO as well. So many of our players are overlapping. We figured it was kind of a perfect way to celebrate the holidays, talking about our great friends, our collaborations. That's something PSO does so well. And, all of this overlap between our two organizations. And what better way to celebrate the holidays than swing?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. It'll be a lot of fun. That collaboration, the concert you were talking about from 2014 was a swing rendition of a lot of holiday classics and with big band scoring. So we kind of got our feet wet with that, and I believe the Silvertones had just kind of started up right about then as an ensemble. And again, a lot of cross-pollination between the people that were there in the group with us and eventually starting Silvertones. It was really just a really neat genesis for them. At the same time, I don't think it was connected to what we were doing, but it aligned with us doing the swing show. And now here we are again, 6-7 years later, and we're coming right back to those great charts and just all of the fun that Silvertones will bring to that performance. Mm-hmm. Cannot wait.
Yeah, they've also been doing such a great job staying active, staying relevant,
Absolutely.
Live streaming, actual live concerts. I mean, they didn't hesitate. They were out there, and I gotta respect that.
Absolutely.
So I can't think of anyone better to work with.
Oh yeah, it's going to be so fun. Well, I'll tell you what, let's leave it there with our season preview for now.
I think that's enough.
And we'll come back. When we do come back, we'll have Lee with the violin, and we'll go into a little bit about the Bach double and continue on from there. So with that, folks, we're moving into our second segment. This one is about 28 minutes long, so you've got some really good listening time now, starting with the Holst, Mars from the Planets, Respighi, Adoration of the Magi from three Botticelli pictures, and the Vivaldi Triple Violin Concerto. So, folks, please enjoy Piedmont Symphony Orchestra once again. Boy, that's some exciting music there. That Vivaldi Triple Violin Concerto is a great segue into what we're going to do here with our great friend Lee. But what a great power set of the PSO that was. We started off, of course, with Mars from the Planets. Such a great recording of the orchestra, and the Adoration of the Magi is just some of the most stunningly beautiful music ever written. And we had to hear that one again. It was just one of those, I think from a lot of people that have heard it before too, and we have a lot of friends in other orchestras that have played this piece too, and I saw some comments from them, and it's a piece that you just fall in love with,
Oh yeah,
you really do. And
well, I want to thank our great friend Don Spalding for his recording, the audio recording. Everything you hear, whether there's video or not, is because of his skill and his expertise. So, and then also again to Dinesh, thank you for your work as well. And you can tell the difference because we didn't have him yet when we did Mars.
Exactly.
And the slideshow is amazing. Don't get me wrong,
right.
But imagine, gosh, I wish we had him earlier because all of those recordings with that video would have been spectacular. Yeah. So from here on out, we've got both of those guys.
Oh yeah, it's a great
handling all of that
team.
for us.
Fantastic
Absolutely.
production team we have. Yeah, they're top of the line.
Yeah.
Both of them, and then of course the Vivaldi is a what a showcase for you and Jason and Matt. Such beautiful music and lively. And,
had such a great time playing that with them. Yeah, definitely got to do more of that.
We were just talking on the break about the Vivaldi quadruple violin concerto.
Yes, I did that one in high school.
Yes,
and that's a great piece. It's a lot of fun.
We'll definitely pull it out.
Oh yeah,
we have to.
We have to. Yeah.
So now we're very excited again about our upcoming season and our opening concert and featuring the Bach Double Violin Concerto.
Yeah.
Very much in the style of what we just heard, the Vivaldi, right? With the continuo and the dynamic changes being so sudden, all of us, in the style.
Yeah.
And so we have Lee here tonight who has brought his violin, thank you. And we're going to talk a little bit about just the 3 different movements of the Bach Double Violin Concerto. And he's going to just play some of the themes and just talk about what the music is for you and demonstrate, what's going on. So go ahead, Lee.
Yeah, the violin concerto, the double violin concerto, is probably the very first concerto that a student learns in being a student. I like to think of this concerto as like a Persian rug. It's perfectly woven. Both parts are equal. They're not one part is superior than the other.
Right.
So the second violin part starts the first 2 movements, and then the third movement has the first violin part starts. But then the second violin joins almost immediately after that, and throughout the entire piece, the parts are so similar, and they're just perfectly interwoven. And so you just think of a Persian rug, really, when you
perfectly.
I mean, it's woven. Just seamless, and there are a couple of themes that really stand out.
Right.
One of them is the beginning, and the second. It starts off with the second violin solo. Well, actually, the tutti section goes like this. And then right at that point, that's where the firsts come in.
Yes.
So you have both parts that are very, very similar. And so they're perfectly interwoven. And then in the first movement, the solo theme is played by the solo second. And then the first come in, and the first solo comes in and does the exact same thing.
Right.
So, and this dialogue goes through the key changes and so forth.
Yeah.
And we all end back in the same key that we started.
Right.
And that's the end of the first movement.
Yeah.
The second movement is it starts off with a similar configuration. The solo second part plays the melody. And then the first comes in at that point where and first comes in just a little bit higher starting at the C. Again, perfectly interwoven, and it goes through different key changes, and then one of the most tender parts of the second movement is the and you have this beautiful suspensions that only Bach can write, and of course other composers just follow his lead on that,
right?
Of his voice leading and so forth. And so it's absolutely just a beautiful second movement.
Yeah.
And then we have the third movement, which is the the end of the piece. It's about the same tempo as the first movement, maybe a little faster. It's all very up and so again you have this dialogue between the two parts. What's really exciting of that part is the you have the triplets. That's something that he hasn't introduced yet. And that's for both solo parts to do that is quite exciting.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to playing this with Matt at Makatuso, our principal second. He's a dynamite violinist, and
it'll be great in that space too.
Mm-hmm.
Buchanan is it's such a lively, beautiful space made for strings.
Yeah,
and it's we've done a couple of performances there. We know firsthand just how well it resonates in there. And now on the Bach double again. We span so many different genres in already tonight in what we've played for the audience, and the Bach is in that era of early string music, right, where strings were dominant.
Yeah,
that was, and this first concert again at Buchanan is about showcasing kind of where the orchestra began. You could call the season kind of an evolution of size of the orchestra as we go through as well. Right?
It's interesting you brought that. The pieces that were written back in that time period were not really written for the concert hall. It was more for like a parlor, like like a living
social
room type of thing.
Yeah.
And so the Buchanan Hall is a perfect a venue for this.
It really is.
It's almost like somebody's living room, like a very, very formal living room area, and so it's going to be exciting to broadcast that and to really to work in there. So shout out to Eric. Thank you so much for having us there. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be wonderful, and I'm glad you could bring your instrument in tonight. We never get a chance to do much like this in a recording setting or in a studio setting, but certainly this last 3 or 4 months we have. So let's talk a little bit more, Kate, about maybe 1 or 2 more selections that may be on that first concert at Buchanan. What do you think? Again, it's very string-centric music. We are definitely planning on doing the very lively Grieg Holberg suite for the finale, and that of course is a string showcase as well. And we've had a lot of great discussions with our fantastic string leaders, our string principals in the PSO, and we've put our heads together on a lot of repertoire for the year, and some great suggestions from everyone. Everybody has a piece of this season, really, in the programming, and I want to thank them for helping get us to this point. It's been very tough to get our heads around how we shape a season in our current situation and how we keep it, I guess, dynamic enough given the restrictions that we have. And I believe we're going to hit the mark for sure. So the whole
well, and we
what
couldn't,
else? Yeah.
Well, we couldn't have done that by ourselves. I think that's the other difference with this season. Not that we don't get input from our players. We always hear that and program things that other people suggest because, it's everyone's orchestra.
Right.
But for this season in particular, how many Zoom calls have we done with section leaders and, various personnel just to try to get a handle on what we can pull off and what would be, something that would speak to them as well. I think that's another interesting part of this, because you said everyone has a piece of the season. And I think that's true. And, we always try to do that every year, but this year more than others. So since it's so unique, we're like, hey, what's your bucket list piece? What's your
that was the
dream piece that you really want to play that you just haven't really had the opportunity to do?
Yeah, that was the question literally posed to them. Give us the bucket list because we've got to come up with something special, very special. So, and we do have a lot of very unique situations that we're putting together, combinations of instruments, collaborations with groups, and so on. So we're going to keep it nice and fresh and very inventive for you all year, no doubt. It's going to be a great season. So now the next segment that we've got, I've got to pull it up here real quick, is another powerhouse segment for us. Kate, you want to tell them a little bit about it while I pull it up? Excuse me.
Sure, yeah. Here's another segment. I guess that's the theme of the night, is the versatility of this orchestra and the power of the soloists, the guest soloists that we bring in, like Rachel, who you heard on one of the other segments. And you're going to hear Carlos again on this next upcoming segment. I think it's really wonderful that our orchestra in the Piedmont is able to bring in these fantastic soloists, that we're able to not only share our music with you, but feature some of these real powerhouse players that just come in and blow everybody away. And then on top of that, we're able to bring our own principal players to the stage as soloists as well to do the same thing. So, it's really amazing how all of that comes together.
Yeah, and we have regulars. We have people that we bring back, and we have soloists that we haven't even had the opportunity to bring on yet. We've got our great friend Thomas Pandolfi, whom we've been talking with a lot, and I'm sure we're going to see him on here very soon. Oh yeah. And so we're scratching the surface of this great network of amazing artists that we work with.
Yeah, so we're gonna revisit. We're gonna do the Nabucco Overture, which is. So there, talk about another powerful PSO, all hands on deck, amazing, strong performance. Yeah, that was fun. That piece, was fun.
Oh yeah,
that one is a Hail Mary.
Then we've got Nakia Werner with and when we were talking about what's your favorite piece and what do you want to hear again, I don't think there was any question about including Isolde's Liebestod from that performance from that opera concert. So that. Just be prepared to cry. It brings me to tears every single time.
Oh yeah.
And then of course that Torina piece that Carlos did. What a lively performer he is too. And again with that piano, and he just gets up there and just rocks it. It's always fun to perform with him.
It is. Yeah. It is. That's a really neat piece too. And everybody brings their own gift of what they do in music to a concert, and every artist has a different element that they bring with their performance, and all of our artists that are guests tonight are no exception. Everybody has their special place in our catalog of great music that we do together. So a very, very fun set. And before we leave for the night, we are going to come back one more time and talk a little bit more in depth with our great friend Eric Shep from Buchanan Hall, and we'll just get a little bit more about maybe some history on the building and things like that. So We have.
I see here also we have Thomas Pandolfi viewing our live stream right now. So hi
Hey,
Thomas.
Thomas.
Thanks for tuning in. It's great to see you. I see we have Jason Labrador as well tuning in. So,
right.
Yes.
Again, if you talk about someone who's able to put their own spin on things and really make it their own, Jason is that player. So,
absolutely.
And so we're looking forward to bringing that all the stops, this next concert.
Yes. And Thomas Pandolfi, for our viewers who haven't seen our concerts with him online, we do have some videos on our Facebook page of us with Thomas. Thomas is a world-renowned pianist who is played all over the world, literally. He was in China not too long back, well before the pandemic. But on extended tours there and in Europe and everywhere you can think of, he is all over the map. And not only one of the best artists that we work with, but just a super individual, great person, and
wonderful person.
So fun to work with. So we'll get him on here soon, definitely. But so it's always about bringing the hospitality of the PSO to our soloists. I know that they always tell us this, but the orchestra is so generous and so giving and so kind to our soloists and our guests all the time. And we can't thank them enough for that, because it reflects our true love for what we do, And it's just a great family. It really is. It always is. And it's strong. PSO strong tonight, right?
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about.
Yes, it is.
So speaking of strong,
yes,
we're going to go into Nabucco now.
Let's do it. We're going to go into our last set, folks. Lee, thanks again for playing. And we'll get that reverb set up and get it right one of these days here. Actually, we'll get it right live in October when we do it.
There you go.
Concert.
That's when we're going to do it. That's it.
All right, folks. So we'll be back one more time with our great friend Eric. And until then, please enjoy our third segment of the Piedmont Symphony Orchestra. All right, welcome back, folks. What an exciting another set from Piedmont Symphony Orchestra, the Verdi, the Wagner, and the Torino with our great friend Carlos Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Bravo, bravo. And, of course, we had Nakia Werner singing the Lebestod from Tristan and that exciting Verdi Nabucco overture.
Yeah.
What fun music. Some of the best of PSO. And what a lot of fun. So now we've got our great friend Eric back on the screen.
Hey, Eric. All right.
Yeah,
Welcome back. Welcome back. Have you enjoyed the show tonight?
Oh, very much so. Very much. And I enjoyed Lee. Hats off to Lee. When Lee has the violin, we should do a podcast with just Lee and a violin explaining all the dynamics and all of the music. It's just a great thing to watch.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Eric. This is going to be so much fun to work with you in this fall. I'm just looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So this
it's
is going to be
great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's excellent. And we're so happy that we've got just such a beautiful venue at Buchanan to make this work. And it's going to work great.
And like you guys were saying earlier, you know, we've done a couple of things. We've done the rock show. We have done some symphonic pieces, and it's just the perfect venue.
Really is.
It's a right size. It's the right area.
Right.
You know, the thing has been, Buchanan was built, I think, in the 30s.
Yeah.
And they renovated it, I guess, in 2000, and it was all donated funds. There was no public money, so we just really are trying to find some creative things to just really get that thing going. So we're looking forward to it.
It's going to be wonderful. It really is.
Yeah.
So, as we said, we're planning on starting at Buchanan this coming season.
Right.
And if it turns out that we are not able to get back into our home at Highland, we're all set at Buchanan to continue the season, which is fantastic.
Absolutely.
We can't thank you enough, Eric, and
Eric,
Fletcher and everybody at Buchanan who is helping Amanda with the layouts and everything. We've got a lot of people working on this, a lot of people, a great team.
I wish everyone could see, as Kate was saying, all the behind the scenes, because this group here, this group of three right here, they are really thinking outside of the box relative to really having a very successful season, and I'm very, very excited to be a part of that. So hats off to you guys as well, because it's going to be good.
It's a good thing.
Well, we're very excited to partner with Buchanan Hall on this, and it's wonderful that you're able to give us a temporary home during all of this when there's really no other option out there. So you guys are what's going to make this happen for us, and we are so delighted to be partnering with you.
Absolutely. It's going to be great. And people just don't understand how beautiful that setting is. I had hoped to pull up some of the photos that I've taken of the space since we've been down there a few times, but we'll save that for another episode. We can show how and we do have some beautiful video coming from Dinesh about the space and a preview of what to expect.
Yeah, it's going to be
well,
good.
those of you who were here, I mean, we've performed there before, so many of our audience will remember the Unplugged Rock Show, the chamber music that we did there. So a lot of our patrons have been in the space and experienced it firsthand.
Right.
So it's just going to be so wonderful to get back in there, and we got another site visit coming up so that we can spec everything out, and all this behind the scenes work is going to result in an amazing season.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like a continuation of the series that we started there last year. It's just that it's happened to grow to be the thing that is the net that's catching us right now. It's amazing. We couldn't be luckier, really.
Right. And and as Lee had said earlier, Lee, it's just a really good, it's a good venue for strings, right? I mean, when you're sitting up on that stage, does it feels really, really intimate, right?
It does. It feels like a big living room, I mean, somebody's big living room, and just the chandeliers and just the beautiful woodwork, and it's the perfect hall for this type of a setting, and this is going to be perfect for getting back into playing again.
Absolutely.
And the acoustics are wonderful, and it's well taken care of, and it's a gem that you all have there.
It is.
Yeah.
And you said something critically. We all say it all the time, but we really mean it. Getting back together, playing.
Yeah.
It's so critical, and it's kind of a segue into the last selection that we have on the program tonight. Not that I'm stopping us, but it's a replay of a performance that we did from the Enigma Variations, and it's the Nimrod movement.
Yes.
And it's a slideshow of all of our great PSO people in action, from backstage footage and side stage and performance pictures and everything. It's just, it really sends it home
It does.
about who PSO is, the family of PSO, and how much, just it's to think about how many performances we have shared online since the end of March, and to think about all of those pieces of music and the depth and the work and the rehearsals and that went into all of those performances, and it's quite a library that we have. And again, the video of the slideshow in this last number, it really sums it up. It really, it's going to be bittersweet, I think, for us to watch as players and performers in the orchestra. But it's a look forward to the positivity of where we're taking things, even in spite of all of the hardships of what we're trying to do. What every business is trying to do is just to kind of stay afloat and keep going forward. And PSO has been working tirelessly since the end of March on how do we make this happen. And in the meantime, we've been able to open up this new series, this live stream series, and share all of this great music with you. And it's great to reflect on this music. There are a lot of recordings that we've presented that many of us had never seen until we decided to air them. We have a backlog of so much great footage that we never got to, and this has been one way to really do it. So it's worked out in the end for all of us, because we're coming out fresh with new ideas, new approach, and great partners. So it's fantastic.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah. So any parting words, anybody, before we close this out for tonight and move into our last piece?
Well, thank you very much, and we're looking forward to hopefully our last site visit maybe next week, and we'll finalize everything. And as you had said earlier, you're going to start sending some stuff out to the folks out there, and I'm sure people are going to start getting excited. So this is a good thing.
Yeah,
definitely. Lee?
Music says it all, and live music especially. And so we're all a family here, and it's going to be like a reuniting of family, and that's something that's going to be very, very memorable and very emotional. Seeing everybody again, working with everybody again. It's going to be having the first night of rehearsal. That's what I think about, and it's like, wow, I can't imagine what it's going to be like. It's so moving. So
Kate.
Well, I would like to thank everyone again. I think I do this every live stream, but I can't reiterate enough how much it means to us to see your comments come through. Because it's kind of like performing. This is our outlet right now, and this is all we have for now, and that's great. And to see the bravos and the clapping hands and the wow, beautiful, and all of those comments just make these live streams, for me personally, I'm sure for everyone else, but it's just so heartwarming to see our fans kind of coming together with us on these live streams and cheering us on. And, I think that we're going to deliver to our fans, because you all have been with us since March and right there with us. And you're going to come along with us as we revamp how we do things and still continue to bring you music. And you're going to be right there loving every minute of it. And that's why we do this. It's because of you, our fans. It's because of the PSO family and all our players. And that's what's really important. So I just wanted to thank everyone again for tuning in, because it really is wonderful that you're sticking with us.
Yeah, it is. It keeps us going to keep you going. It's perpetual. So it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It really is. All right, folks. Well, thank everybody for coming on. All of our guests. We had Ernie on earlier, and for the great music from the PSO throughout the night. All of our guest soloists, so tremendous, and just for all the support. We're really grateful, and we are not going anywhere. So, all right, folks, have a great night. We'll see you back here in a couple of weeks, and we are going to move into our final selection featuring the Piedmont Symphony Orchestra. This is the Nimrod from Elgar's Enigma Variations. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
guys.
Good night.
We'll see you soon. Take care.
Thanks.